Ollie, what's up, man? Welcome to Miami. I'm Travis. I work here with the team doing media in-house for us. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to see you. So I want to start off with this question because I saw reports that you were here for a visit with the Dolphins in the pre-draft process. I was curious how that went and maybe how that led to you getting drafted here.
I feel like it went great. I met with the staff. When I talked to the staff, I told them, I was fine with playing special teams, doing all that, doing what's best for the team. Even if that's not seeing the field at running back at first, I felt like that helped, and the staff was just real with me. They kept it 100 with me. And, I feel like I work with them. We can make something great happen.
So Ollie, I got you listed here at 6'1", 225, but I feel like you played about 6'5", 270 because you just played really big. The Dolphins have been aggressive in free agency in the draft, getting big pieces on the offensive line, getting big blockers at tight end and receiver. You fit that mold. I'm curious how you think your physicality can help this Dolphins offense.
Just being at Miami and seeing everything going on, I feel like Miami is a huge downhill team, and I feel like that's one of the A+ things I have in my bag. Coming to this draft, and I feel like that's just a perfect match with Miami. And Coach Mike, he real aggressive with it, so you know.
Thanks, Ollie. Appreciate it, man.
Chris Perkins.
Hey, Ollie, how you doing? Chris Perkins from the South Florida Sun Sentinel.
I'm good. How you doing, Mr. Chris?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, a couple of questions for you. Number one, tell me about the pressure of being an Oklahoma State running back. Yeah, exactly, man. You got Barry Sanders and that whole line of guys. How tough is that?
I would just say it's really just living up to the expectation. Being a running back in that offense or just the school in general. You got to live up to the greats in front of you, and I feel like we definitely hold that and pride that at Oklahoma State, and I feel like I had to step up to that totem pole, and that's what really happened. So I feel like it's a lot of pressure, like you said, just seeing Barry, Thurman, Terry, all the greats just come through and ball. So
Yeah,
Chuba, Jalen Warren, it's
right.
just all greats around.
Yep. Okay, and the second thing, how was the wait for you? What was the draft experience like? Did you go about where you thought? Were you nervous? Were you anxious? Were you chill? How were you?
If anybody can sit here and say they weren't anxious or nervous during this time, I feel like they'll be lying to y'all. But I'm gonna be real. I was a little anxious. I was a little nervous. But you gotta trust and believe. You just gotta stick to your gut. And the time came, and it came. God was great the whole time. Put my trust on Him, and we was good.
All right. Thanks, Ollie.
Marcel.
Hey, Ali Marcel Louis Jacques with ESPN. Congratulations, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Curious. I see you went to Euless Trinity. I know y'all are like 5, 6 years apart, but do you know Cater Kohu or like have you ever been in contact with him?
So the crazy part is, so I got a brother. He played DB, and he be watching Cater tape. And the crazy part is, I was at my visit in Miami, and Cater was like, "You Ollie?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "I went to Euless Trinity." I'm like, "Oh, bet I know who you are." So I went ahead and talked to him. We dapped it up, and he told me, he was like, "Said I hope I see you here." And we here now, so we, what I'm saying, it's a little reunion. Can't go wrong with it.
That's crazy, man. Small world, right?
Small world for real.
Now, obviously, 2023, incredible season, man.
Yeah.
2,000 yards from scrimmage. Things got tougher for you last year. I think I read a quote from a scout that said, just forget, don't even watch the 24 tape, watch 23. It wasn't his fault, da-da-da-da. I'm curious, from your perspective, though, what is something that you were proud of over this last season, despite the numbers not being what they were in 23?
I would just say the bond that I built with my teammates, even though things didn't go our way, I still feel like those are my brothers. I can call on them. I could call them right now. A bunch of them text me congratulations. But it's just the bond I got to build with them and, to be on the field with them. And it's just like, with me, I take, team pride as a team pride number one, even if we lose and I'm still with my dogs regardless. And for them to stick by my side and I stick by their side, I feel like we good.
Appreciate it, man. Congrats once again. Welcome to Miami.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
David Fronis.
Hey, Ollie, congratulations. And just to stick on that subject, what do you feel were some of the factors that led to the difference in production, 2023 to 2024?
I would just say in 23, teams didn't really know who we were. They didn't really know what was coming. They didn't know the quarterback, the running back situation because, we rotated a lot. But as we got through 23, we figured out who we were, got stuff done. I feel like 24 teams went in and realized that they had to stop the run. Because, Oklahoma State, we love to run first. We're going to run first if anything. They don't have a bunch of great running backs for no reason. So I felt like once teams figured that out, stopped the run, and made us change our mind up and throw the ball, that's when I felt like we kind of got into a little hole.
Yeah. And I know you're very physical with your downhill running style. How would you describe your mindset when you've got the ball in your hands and you've got a defender in front of you that you're about to go through?
Honestly, my mindset is me versus you, and I'm banking on me every time. I can't, I can't sit here and lie to y'all. I'm banking on me every time when I'm in that one-on-one. So that's my mindset. It's either you gonna get out my way or I'm gonna run through you.
Great. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Joe Shad.
Hey, Ollie, it's Joe in Palm Beach. Nice to meet you.
How you doing,
What-
Mr. Joe?
All right. I got the Mr. Chris treatment. I made fun of Chris. I said, you're an old hat, and called you Mr. Chris. That's all right. I know I'm old. What do you think of Mike McDaniel?
As soon as I met him, I can't lie, I fell in love with him, man. It's just his energy. He just, I feel like he's what I would be if I was a head coach. His energy, his vibe is just, he kept everything true with me. He told me, he was like, your tape is great, your 23 tape is great, your 24 tape kind of held you down, but he was like, I mean, if you're there late rounds, we'll find you. And, he told me the offense fits me and that I can help the offense. And, like I said first, team is me first. So I'm here to do anything for the team.
Thanks, Ollie.
Yes, sir.
Al.
Hi, Ollie. Hal Habib with the Palm Beach Post. Welcome.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm older than all these other guys, so I'll just lay that out there. um, I wanted to go back for a minute to the 23 season. You had 1,700 yards, Doak Walker Award. I can envision where a running back would be thinking, really bright things for your future in terms of the NFL. What was going through your mind in terms of your NFL potential and your NFL career at that point?
Well, in 23, I couldn't really think of that because that was only my second year, so I didn't redshirt. So I was a true sophomore. And, you got to be out of high school 3 years. So I knew I couldn't come out then. But my mindset after that Doak Walker was really winning another Doak Walker, taking it to the next level, And, sometimes things don't go all as planned because if it did, everybody would be so successful, So it was just some of those things you got to take to the team, go back to the whiteboard, adapt to it, figure out what you got to change, and, keep moving on.
How do you describe your running style?
I would say I'm a bruiser. I'm gonna run through you. I'm gonna make you want to not tackle me late in games and beginning of games.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alan.
Okay. Hi, Ollie. I continue the parade of, I'm Alan with Miami Dolphins on SI.
Yes, sir. How you
Continuing
doing, Mr. Allen?
I'm good. Continuing the parade of old people. Mine, I show it with the white hair over here. So I come with the hard-hitting question. So you wore number 0 at Oklahoma State.
Right.
And the Dolphins just released some New Jersey numbers for veterans. Zach Wilson was given number 0, except he's never worn it before in his career. So might you be inclined to try to have a conversation with Zach to see if he would be agreeable to letting you keep your number 0?
Hey, so look, when you come to these new teams, you come to different, you gotta respect the vets. And I don't want to be on no side of the vets. I want to take in and learn from them. So I'm gonna be cool and I'm gonna be fine with the number I get for the first year. Like I said, I'm a team guy. So if my guy wanna put that 0 on, that's my teammate now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna respect him. He the big dog. And I know my boundaries. So I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna respect it. I just have to find something else I look good in.
But you wouldn't mind if you were to like say, oh, Ollie, there you go, you can have 0.
I mean, hey, if he gave it to me, I'm gonna have to give him a big hug, big hug. But if he didn't, I wouldn't even trip, and I wouldn't even go out my way to ask for it, So it's just a respect thing, Like if I was the bet and I had to, I just changed my number to 0 and we got a younger guy coming in, I'm not giving up my number, so I wouldn't be mad at him. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Marcel.
Hey, I had to tap back in because I just watched this 26-second clip, not of your best runs or catches, but of you pass blocking.
Mhm.
And I wanted to ask you, what kind of pride do you take in being a pass blocker at the running back position?
All right, Marcel, I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Marcel, I'm gonna keep it so for real with you right now. When I'm in that pass pro mode, I'm trying to take you. I'm trying to take you out. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be your last play blitzing. If I gotta cut you, if I gotta run through your face, that's gonna be your last play blitzing, and I'm gonna make you think about it. So that first time, if I don't get you, I promise later in the game, I'm gonna get you. I promise you that one.
That's bars, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll close it out here with Hassam.
Hey Ollie, Hussam Patel here from Five Reasons Sports. You don't gotta call me Mister. I'm around 25, so you don't have to give me that. Um, on the question of pass blocking, how aggressive you are trying to, take out bodies. I noticed in your film from 2023 to 2024, you stopped doing cut blocks. Why is that?
So 23, 24, 23, I was more heavier on the cut blocking, getting it done. But I felt like 24, I gained a little bit of weight and, that weight room helped me out. So I got to feeling myself a little bit. Shout out Coach Glass, my strength coach. I got to feeling myself a little bit. So now I was at the point to where I'm like, okay, I could take these 250, 260 linebackers and meet with them head up. So that's why you saw less cut blocking and more,
Who's
sir.
who's one defensive player that you Who's one defensive player in the NFL that you really want to, put them on the ground?
Are we talking about like that got drafted too or that's been in the league?
That's been in the league and drafted, whoever you want.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to go with my boy that got picked today or yesterday actually, Nick Martin from the 49ers. I would love to catch a live head up with him, just because I've been at practice with him and I done seen his craft, him. I would definitely have to say him.